Hey guys, James here today, and welcome to another speed build video. Finally, it has been a while, yes, but I had to take a break from building because it wears you out if you do it too much. All other builders will know this. So, if you hadn't already guessed from the title and possibly the thumbnail, this is a futuristic house built in Oasis Landing. And you can see I'm doing a lot of funky things right now. This part of the build, like only this very early part here that I'm doing now, well, I actually designed this before doing the video because I had to make sure it worked. It was my idea for an awesome futuristic entrance and sort of a base for my house. You can see I'm doing sort of weird things. You'll see how it evolves. I won't try and explain it too much because you basically see how it works. The idea came because I was trying to think, before I started even building a house, I was trying to think, what can I do that's futuristic and that's different from what's in the game already? So, although this kind of is in the game, well, the concept of a cantilever is in the game. Like you see some of the houses have well, they don't have cantilevers, but they're sort of a cantilever design wherein basically a large portion of the house comes out and is unsupported. But it is supported because obviously that's supported by the other side of the house. Anyway, if you know what a cantilever is, it'll make sense. So that's kind of where the inspiration for this idea came from. So you can see this is actually the base of the house. This little thing on the ground, I don't know, I kind of gave it that cool sort of, it's kind of a spacey kind of shape, I guess you could call it. Because I've been playing a lot of space games lately, so I guess I was inspired by that. So yeah, that's kind of like it's the entrance to the house. And it's actually really cool. It's like a big ramp that goes up and then a couple of stairs at the end. It goes in the house. It works perfectly. I was so happy that entrance actually worked because it's freaking awesome. One problem with it though, and it's a fairly decently sized problem. I'm going to mention this now at the beginning so we don't get through the video and I forget to mention it. Because it's a long one wide hallway. If you have too many Sims trying to go through it, you're going to have a problem. So you don't want to throw massive parties, and if you do, you probably want to do the party downstairs, outside, not upstairs, because the house really is only designed for 2 Sims. Because as you can see, it's not a very big house, and it only has a double bed in it in the end. So yeah, you don't want to have too many people going up and down that, otherwise they probably will get stuck and get angry. But here you can see I'm starting to design the house a little bit. I no longer have a set plan for the house because the only plan thing was the sort of entrance because I had to make sure all that worked before I built the entire house based off of it. And it did work. So here we go. We're starting to build the house. This actually does change in a little bit. My absolute favorite part about this house, and I'm hoping your favorite part about this house, actually there's a few, well, the roof on this house, I really, really love the roof on this house. And I really love the entrance of this house as well. There's a few things I really love. I mainly like this house and I really love this house because it's different from just a regular house. I guess it's something entirely different. It's kind of spaceshipy and futuristic. It definitely spaceship inspired. Like you'll see, it definitely has that kind of look about it when it gets going. You can already kind of see it here, getting a funky bit of shape going on now. And when I started roofing, I was like, hang on, I could do some awesome. I don't know where the roof came from really. I just started building stuff and building stuff and building stuff and building. So here you go. This is where I start the roof. It starts off pretty simple. I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to do these 3 things here. And I have the 2 smaller ones a little bit lower than the middle one because the middle one is the main one. So I was like, okay, that looks pretty cool. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Now let's chuck a whole bunch of stuff in between it. I'll add a few stages to make it look a bit more defined, a bit more detailed. And then and the roof kind of just went from there. I was like, oh yeah, that looks pretty cool. Now let's add a few walls here. And let's do this. And let's do that. And that was basically my thought process behind doing the roof. And it kind of just evolved and evolved and evolved. And I spent quite a while on the roof. This video, by the way, is going at 6 times speed, so not 8. Some of my videos are 8. This one's at 6, so I thought it was a nicer speed. You can kind of see a bit more of it than you normally would be able to. And I really love how the walls here that I'm doing now, you see there's sort of like pitch up to the middle of the roof. They kind of like slope up. I really love that look. I don't know. I think it just looked really nice. Look at that. Freaking sweet. And then I added more walls and more walls and more and more and more. Yeah. And then I was like, hang on, this house isn't big enough. Because the house, it's sitting too far back on the cantilever underneath. I was like, hang on, if this was real, the house would like fall backwards because it's not far enough forward that it would work. So this is where I start building. So I had to set to build support for the front, and then I just extend the house out a little further, and then all is fine and dandy, and it works. Well, I mean, it's always going to work. It's not going to fall over, but it looks more natural. And if you can call this house natural, I guess. Natural in terms of it could physically be possible to build. That kind of natural. But yeah, so this is something entirely different for me. I enjoyed building it because yeah, it's one of those things that I would have, like back in the day when I was a kid and I was building in Sims, I used to build crazy things. Well, not so much crazy things, just kind of ridiculous things. Like I used to build like a school, or I used to build like a whole hotel, or I used to build like just things like that with secret passageways and all that kind of fun, crazy stuff. And that's kind of what this is. It's just kind of a fun, crazy kind of house. I mean, it's just cool. It's just cool. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed building it, and I think it turned out really nicely. And a lot of this, like the house on the inside, like this part I really like as well. The house, the interior is really white. Really just because that's like OSS lighting. It's just white. It's bright. It's clean. Lots of windows. But then when you go nighttime, I've put a lot of colored lights in the house. I've got like blue lights. I've got cyan lights. I've got like magenta lights. I've got I already said cyan. I was about to say it again. Yellow lights. And the house starts to get all the colors at nighttime. And I think that looks really cool. We'll see it later on when I spend quite a lot of time doing all the lighting and making it look quite nice. But here you go. You can see I've extended the house now. Well, extended the house and sort of continued the roof design on. And it kind of, I was looking at it in a picture after I finished this house, and it kind of looks like, what is it? And is it no, it's, armadillo? Is it an armadillo? The one that has a really, like the shell? I don't know. The roof. Oh, here we go. So I'm picking the colors. I was like, those are little solar panels. I was like, hang on, this could be a cool idea. There's solar panels on the roof. I don't know. This first iteration of the roof coloring looks horrible. And then I tried to do this, and it's all over the place. But it took me a while to sort of settle on the roof. And then I was like, hang on, I don't want to make this dark and horrible. I want to make it bright, light, and beautiful. So yeah, we do that in a minute. So basically the idea with the roof, well, it kind of stemmed from this. So I moved the solar panels to the two raised bits in a second. And then later on I start putting down, well, I'll talk about it more when I get to it. But yeah, we put the solar panels on there. So it's kind of like a self-sufficient home of the future. That's the idea. I mean, obviously those solar panels are freaking tiny and probably would not provide enough power. You'd probably need a lot more. Although it is the future. They could be very, very efficient solar panels. So there. And they're so efficient that, yeah, here's the roof. It's taking a much nicer color. And I did those two main sort of spines, if you will, in that black, because they're just bold black, nice long spine going down the roof. I thought looked really nice. And I was choosing colors for the rest of the house and the roof. But as I was saying, yes, there's something about solar panels and future. I'm just, because I like to talk about things that I think about when I build the houses, and then I'm trying to talk about what's happening in the video as well. So I kind of have two conversations going on right now. Yeah, but see all these little things I'm putting in here, this little flower border thing. The idea I had with that is that they're supposed to be kind of little power cables, if you will. So they're running from the solar panels all over the house. So they're kind of like power cables for all the lights and everything. Anyway, that was kind of the inspiration for it. But it kind of just gives it that extra level of detail. Like, I'm really happy with the roof. Like, the roof it turned out so detailed, and I just really love the look of it. It looks awesome. I've never done a roof like that before. Well, never that in depth of a roof, because it would look how much time I spent on the roof. We're almost at 9 minutes into the video, so. So this other color here, this sort of turquoisey cyan color, that you see I'm putting, they have that a lot in OSS Landing, and I make sure to incorporate that. So I've got it running through the roof, so it matches all the other buildings as well. So you have the whites, the light grays, the cyan, and it matches in with the rest of the buildings in OSS Landing. So it doesn't look out of place. It looks different, but it doesn't look out of place. And I think that's really nice. But here we go. What am I doing now? I think I'm done with the roof though. So yeah, now I'm trying to do wallpapers. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with wallpapers. Played around with that for a while, but then I made that just a gray sort of concrete base, because I feel like it should be strong. And by the way, that weird little the foundation that I put at the bottom, that's kind of like how I said before, it's kind of like spaceshipy, that shape of foundation. The only reason the foundation is there in the first place is because if I put the entrance to the house, you know, like the big ramp entrance, if I put that one level lower, all the terrain would have to be touching it. So it had to be raised up a little bit. And I thought, why not make it look freaking sweet and make it look awesome? And the other idea behind it is like it's like a big foundation. Like you can imagine it, a foundation sort of going all the way down into the ground with big poles to sort of sturdy it and make it strong to hold the house. So it's like my idea. It was like it's a big concrete base that holds the house down. That was the idea behind it. Anyways, like this whole big area down there. And the thing is about this house is I purposely left it. I didn't really do any landscaping because I felt the house didn't need landscaping. The house speaks for itself. I mean, obviously I did pathways and I did a few shrubs, but most of the garden is just blank. It just has a few terrain paints and that's it. And I really like that because I think it goes really well with the concept of the house. Like it goes really nicely. The house speaks for itself. It doesn't need no pretty flowers to speak for it. But what that means for you is that there's plenty of room downstairs on the ground floor, like to do a pool area and all that kind of stuff. I was going to do a pool, but I decided against it. But like I was saying before, if you're going to have parties, you probably want to do them on the ground floor. And it's perfect because I've left tons of space for it. Pretty much the whole bottom of the lot is blank. Anyways, putting in the windows here now. I've got those nice big circle windows from Into the Future. I wasn't sure if I wanted to use them at first, but then I was like, yeah, I do want to use them. They look pretty sweet. And I'm going to go for those little windows there. They have nice rounded corners. And I changed those windows actually. They kind of change around. But you can see in the middle of the house where that ramp comes up, it actually takes a lot of space because I had to make sure like when the sim came up, their head didn't clip through all the flooring. I mean, in theory, you could cover up pretty much all of that with flooring and put stuff on top of it. But your sim's head would clip through everything and it would look really, really weird. So I just kind of designed the house around that because that's kind of like the center of the house and then the rooms around it. The house is pretty much entirely open plan as well. The only thing that isn't open is the bathroom because I felt they should have some privacy in the bathroom. The bedroom's open, living room, kitchen, dining room, everything in the house is open. I thought that was a really nice idea. Just everything is because it's nice big flowing open space. It's modern. It's futuristic rather, not modern. Well, I guess you could call it modern, but not really. Anyway, so that up there is a bedroom. It's like on a raised platform as well. I do that sort of, I don't know, bar fence thing. And then I also put blinds in front of the bars there. So there is a bit of privacy for the bedroom. Although the idea behind this is there's only that one bedroom with a double bed. So like I said before, the idea is that it's just a couple's house or a bachelor pad, if you will. It could be a bachelor's pad or a couple's house, but it's definitely not accommodating for a family at all. Nowhere near enough room for a family. I wouldn't try to get them in here. This house is more of like a sort of a fun little experiment more than an entirely practical house. Because as you've heard, I've said the compromise is the fact that you can't, if you have a lot of Sims here, they're going to get stuck in that entrance if you're all trying to come in at the same time. And if you want to expand the house, like on the regular level, like on the level I'm building now, it's kind of a nuisance to do. Because for one, the roof, you'd have to work with the roof and fiddle around with that to make it work. And two, it's actually on the third level as well. And one of the levels is a one stair height. I don't know. It's just kind of awkward to sort of expand. So this kind of house is like, it's as is. And of course, you could change all the furnishings and layout. Everything inside the house, like the interior, is really easy to change. I'm making it sound like this house is impossible to work with. It's not, sorry. The interior is super easy to change. The interior is like a regular house, but expanding the house is where it kind of comes a bit more difficult. But yeah, but there's plenty of room downstairs, of course, so that's all good. But yeah, like I was saying before, it's a very, very kind of experimental house. It's sort of playing around and having a bit of fun with all the new Into the Future stuff, getting inspired by the future and doing a lot of stuff. So this is obviously the bedroom area here. I couldn't put the bed all the way back straight up to that window because otherwise Sims just wouldn't be able to get into it. So that's why it's a bit forward, but I put a few tables behind it. And for some reason my game glitched out here, but I didn't restart my game for a while, so it's kind of glitched out for a while. But I couldn't eyedrop anything. Like I couldn't copy any items. It was so frustrating. And also the menu was screwing up. Oh, here's where I start doing colored lighting. This is where I got the idea. I was like, ooh, we could have a nice romantic red light. But they're not as strong as that, by the way, the lights. So I see like it's kind of like diluted now. It's kind of like It's there, but it's not too red. Like it's just a nice sort of happy medium. It is. I do leave it on red eventually, and then I do a cyan light over the other side of the room, which is kind of nice. Yeah. So I don't know that idea for the lighting. I don't even know where that came from. I just decided to do it. And I thought it fit really well with this sort of futuristic styled home, having all these different colored lighting and all this kind of cool stuff everywhere. As you can see, there are the blinds that they can close if they so wish. Not that it's going to give them that much privacy, because if there are people in the house, I mean, they'll probably be sitting in the living room just around the corner. They could probably see them from the bed, but that's not the point. I did spend quite a bit of time on the bedroom. I did actually, because I wasn't sure where I was taking this house. I wasn't sure what's final style, because the bedroom basically was the style guide for the house, if you will, like what the rest of the house is going to look like. I was going to put those little glowy things in, but then I didn't in the end because they were being really annoying. So I didn't. Yeah. Those lights actually changed because I don't like those. But anyways, that's irrelevant. I was going to do some lights there as well, but it was kind of weird to do lights down there. Kind of acted strange. But anyways, I had to pick the living area. Look at the sofa. What am I doing? As you can imagine, this house is, well, as you can see, this house is an awkward shape, so it makes doing things inside the house kind of awkward. Admittedly, the TV area is not very big at all. Like, it's like that little corner of the house there. That's your sitting area. But it's the future. You can go do some more fun things and sit in front of your TV. So there's that. Yeah, I think I do. What color do I do in the living area? There's not a very strong color in the TV area. It's a green. I think it's a very subtle green of the light. And that's just there where you saw I changed the color of the couch. That's where I decided against coloring items, and rather I decided to color the lights over the items, because I thought that was a cooler idea. And it just seemed, I don't know, it just seemed more futuristic to me. I don't know, it just did. Yeah, so it's got a subtle green light in there, as you can see. I think they even go a little more subtle as I sort of play around with them a bit. Did the ceilings there, so they're all coherent. That's the bathroom in there. Use all the futuristic stuff in the bathroom. So basically, yeah, this house is using a lot of stuff from Into the Future. So apologies if you don't have Into the Future. Although, having said that, if you don't have Into the Future, this house as a base will still work, but a lot of the items will be replaced. So you could even download this if you don't have it, and just sort of play around with it and do your own items. And see how you go from there. These lights in this little ramp here. So you can kind of get a nice view of this ramp now and see how it works. It's just a nice, gentle sloping ramp that goes up. I was trying to do some lights in here, but they were going really weird on the slope. That kind of, I don't know, it was weird. So I just aborted that plan and just went about my business. So then I decided to use these lights around the house instead, because they seem nicer and, I don't know, sleeker, more futuristic-y. Futuristic-y? What? Yeah, so I used the, what's that shower called? I don't know. It's some sort of shower thing. Well, not a shower. It's I completely forgot what it's called. The thing that shoots beams at you and cleans you somehow. I use that and the toilet and the Into the Future toilet and the Into the Future sink and tables. And here is where I'm deciding where to put the kitchen. Of course, the kitchen doesn't really need a kitchen. It's basically just a food synthesizer and a drink synthesizer. And that's pretty much all you need. Although, I don't know if I've just realized if I've made a mistake, because there's no dishwasher. Do you need a dishwasher with a synthesizer? As I clearly just said it. Do you need a dishwasher with a synthesizer? Synth. I'll just call it the synth. Synthesizer. I can say it's slow, but not fast. Anyway, I don't know if you do. Probably. Apologies, there's no dishwasher in the house, but that's very easy to add. I've just realized that. Anyways, little office area then adjacent to the bedroom, and a little Into the Future foosball table. That's the one. Yeah, so this kitchen dining area is that blue light. Oh, I don't know. I really love the look of that blue light. It looks really nice. I also made that rug blue because I thought it matched. And then the study area goes a bit yellow. Not that yellow. I turn it way down because that's just overbearing. Although you could have it that yellow. All right. Yeah. So that little table there is colored yellow now from the light. That's really nice. So basically, what the lighting does is it gives all the items color at night, but then when you go back day, it's just bright white and clean during the daytime. At nighttime, everything just bursts into color, and it's just awesome. And I just really liked that whole. I see back in the daytime now, everything's just really white, and it's just I don't know, it's just such a cool effect. I really like that idea. Doing this little front balcony of the house now. We're doing the new Into the Future garden rugs. It's really weird. They're like a rug that you can place plants on top of. I mean, although you could just use move objects on to place plants anywhere you wanted before anyway, but I decided I'd use the rug because it seemed more legitimate, I guess, if you will. So I did that. Use some new Into the Future plants there as well. A lot of Into the Future stuff actually I used, so apologies if you don't have it. Kind of sucks. But yeah, you can still use it. So you can still use House. I mean, I definitely encourage you if you want to. If you don't have Into the Future, I encourage you to download it and try it out and see what happens. Actually, if you do that, can you, if you don't have it Into the Future, can you download this? Well, you don't have to. If you want to download it and take a picture of how messed up the house looks, and then tweet it to me because I want to see how messed up the house looks without Into the Future, because so much of this stuff is Into the Future. And again, apologies if you don't have it. But this house was an Into the Future house, and that's what I was going to do with it. But we'll do some more after this, more kind of regular houses, and we might do some more crazy things like this in the future to sort of mix things up again while we wait for Sims 4, because it's going to be a while to Sims 4, people. So we could do some more crazy things like this. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. And then this idea, I love this idea. This just put the cherry on top of the cake. That saying that like the reason I paused so much there is like I was just thinking about the saying. Is there cherry on top of the cake? Because I don't want a cherry on top of my cake. Anyways, no, this idea, it turned out so well. I turned down the intensity. I had to do it a few times because it was kind of messing up. But it just gives that sort of cyan glow to the roof, and it looks awesome. Oh, by the way, I'm in Sunset Valley now. The house kind of keeps jumping between locations. It started out in Oasis Landing, and then it went back. And we'll jump back there in a second as well, actually. But that's because you can't save the game in Oasis Landing if you're editing town, which is really, really annoying. So I would have to build the house, and then I had to go back to Sunset Valley and then save the game. And that was kind of annoying. Here we are back in Oasis Landing. As you can see, it fits in, well, we'll see in the screenshots in just a moment. You'll see how well it fits in, and it matches really nicely with all the surrounding buildings. It actually turned out to match really well. Like, I was actually surprised how well the color scheme sort of just blended in with everything. That's all the landscaping there is, by the way. That little hedge fence and those shrubs, that's it. That's the landscaping. I wanted to keep it super simple because I just feel like the future is clean, simple, and to the point. And I also darken the grass underneath the house because I feel like if the house is sitting over the grass, it would be sort of dead a little bit. But here we go. Screenshots. I love how this house turned out. It turned out so nicely. There you go. You can see the entrance. I love the entrance. Here's the entrance down the bottom. This is what it looks like. Your Sims go in there. They walk up, go into the house. It works beautifully. And so there's that whole cantilevered idea that I had to have the house on a cantilever. And then this roof. Oh, I'm impossibly happy with how this house turned out. I really am. I'm really so happy. I couldn't take enough screenshots of this house. I was trying to take screenshots that sort of showed it off as best as I could, and I just wasn't happy. I had to take more. I had to take more and more and more screenshots. So that's the front balcony there, and you can notice how white the house looks on the inside. I mean, you might not like that, but I do, because that's kind of what Oasis Landing is, white, clean. The only thing that isn't white is this bedroom here, that wall, which I kind of like. I like that idea. It's kind of like a feature wall. But yeah, it's all white, and then we'll get a few nighttime shots in a minute, and you can see how it all comes to life with all the colored lighting, and it just makes it look so rich and so full, and it's awesome. These are kind of just angled shots so you can see the house from sort of a playing perspective. So if you're playing the game, this is kind of how you'd see it. I thought those were nice shots to include so you can kind of see how it all works. The roof. I love seeing that roof. I just do. I just love that roof. It's so awesome. A few floor plan shots here now. There's that one. Are these out of order? No, I think I only took that one. Oh, here we go. Sunset. And then we're moving into nighttime now. And we'll see some awesome nighttime shots. Yes, look at the roof. Oh, I just love it. I know I've said that so many times, but I just love it. I just love that glow on the roof. It's just so So beautiful. Just so perfect. But unfortunately, we are coming to the end of this video. Of course, a download link to this house is in the description if you hadn't already figured that out. But thank you so much for watching this speed build. I will see you next time. Have a great day.